These are not props, but it can't get real.
What you comment on the ball? Y'all good, man. Jealous. I've been on my side since Christian dudes, all that finale, man.
OG Man was ganging about the street ties. He even talked about Giuseppe shoes, which are about $1,500 to $2K a pop.
So what?
He even stated that he wasn't a rapper and insisted he just created that song out of revenge and retaliation, but realized his talent and he may even consider becoming a rapper. The night C. Diddy had fallen to his death, many had speculated that he did not jump to his death, but rather he was either thrown off or pushed off. The car took off traveling north, past the bridge, or which direction they were headed. Diddy wanted to know who was in the car. The night he didn't fell to his death, Diddy went looking for the drivers in the vehicle for 100 seconds. Soon after he made that diss, OG Man was gunned down at a cookout held in the southeast.
I'm not a real rapper, I'm a real lie hitter. Shoot it down and throw the baddie in the river.
It was 1 year ago today, AGC rapper was gunned down at a cookout in a southeast apartment complex. The murder was carried out just weeks after Antonio Leach released this controversial feud video.
It is a video his parents and now the police say may have led to his death. Paul Wagner has more on this Fox 5 exclusive.
Have you ever met a killer? Don't answer that.
The video, posted to YouTube in April of last year, shows Antonio Leach in a Halloween mask holding pistols with extended clips. Rapping as OG Man, Leach is recorded at the gravesite of a rival's dead friend, setting a photograph on fire and threatening violence in an ongoing feud. A video some believe went too far.
This is real hard. This is hard. Every day I think of my son. Every day.
Lucia Leach and Anthony Jones are Antonio's parents. They knew about the video and worried it would lead to trouble.
I was afraid, but I let him knew I was afraid. And then that's when he promised me that I'm going to stop. Because they had started going back and forth first. They started.
Leach's parents say the feud began when Antonio's rival called him a snitch.
Talking about conflict. I think because when he felt, basically he was a snitch, he felt threatened. He was like something.
The police were back in the neighborhood today, handing out flyers, hoping to generate the police in the case. The man who was killed, Antonio Leach just got a phone call. Someone asked him to come over here to a behind his brother on Jefferson South. There were a number of people here, but it's unclear exactly how many. Suddenly, someone close to the handgun opened fire.
Jump back out. We reached for the door. I said, son, where you going? He said, Dad, I'll be right back in a minute.
A year after the murder, detectives have been so far unable to develop any suspects. An area of the city where Antonio Leach's parents know the code of the streets is strong.
The people is afraid to tell anything because they end up not having nowhere to go, or the person might come after them.
But Lucia Leach is begging for help. She wants justice for her son.
It would mean a whole lot. It'll help my heart, my mind, and my soul to know that somebody is out here that really cares for us.
On YouTube, what's known as OG Man's diss video has been viewed more than 1.7 million times. For the person who can tip the police, there's a $25,000 reward on the table. Paul Wagner, Fox 5 Local News.
This is a really interesting story. Do we know at this point how many of those no-shows at the rally were in fact these people who actually got the tickets and just did not show up?
What we do know is that the people who were signing up with no intention of going to the rally may have fueled a lot of the bragging from the Trump campaign about what the attendance numbers were going to be and what the data haul from all of those registrations was going to look like. And the main intent from these teens and Korean pop fans was to cause that bragging that would lead to the disappointment we saw yesterday, that the attendance was much smaller than expected. Now, it was a general admission rally, first come, first serve, so it's not like they were taking seats that other people could have taken, but imagine you are deciding whether to go to the rally and hearing from the campaign that almost 1 million people have registered, and you know there are only 19,000 spots in the arena. That may have discouraged people who would have come from coming.
So the opposition, though, has declared victory, even though, as you say, it's pretty hard to quantify the number of people that would have, signed up and didn't turn up, right?
Yes, and I think that there's a long-term effect we may see here. The teams and really the Democrats, opposition in general, who provided email addresses, phone numbers, etc. to the Trump campaign, that's going to mess up their data operation. The Trump campaign relies on rallies and those kinds of signups to develop their advertising targeting on Facebook and on Google. So if people are giving them flawed information about who is interested in hearing from the campaign, that could at least cause them to lose money. And that was another side effect that the team said that they could accomplish with this method.
So, Sarah, we have seen all of the younger generation turning to social media and turning their focus into a more political campaign. Are we seeing this more widespread, or is it just this one instance?
Well, we're seeing it certainly in the wake of the racial tension in the United States following the police killing of George Floyd. This is a thing that we have seen happen on TikTok, where previously TikTok was not a social network that embraced politics, but now they are starting to warm up to especially U.S. politics and allow a lot of the viral campaigns. That one of the campaigns on this rally, for instance, was teens would take a video of their rally reservation and tell other people to do the same as a duet with them. So a lot of viral chains caused people to sign up for the rally and show their friends that they were doing it, and it became a meme on TikTok.
Verizon knows how to build unlimited right. Start with America's most awarded network. Offer it at a price built for everyone and on a phone everyone loves. iPhone 11 on us when you buy select iPhones, because everyone deserves the best.
Good.
Yo, what up, though? It's your boy, DME. Yeah, you know, I don't like reporting on this. But what do you want me to do? Like, I mean, we started talking about it. It's part of it. The whole world's talking about it. World star hip hop, blah blah blah. Everybody, this is #1 story. And I don't shy from no subject. All right, if it's too much for you, if you're too much of a, if you just can't handle it, you know, you didn't have to click on it in the first place. I don't believe you because. This needs to be addressed, bro. Math Hoffa, I'm not taking sides because, again, I don't know these people, all right? I don't know who did what. I wasn't there, all right? I'm just looking at stuff that's being presented, bro. I'm just looking at stuff that's being presented. I'm going to be fair and balanced when it comes to this situation. And so Math Hoffa reposts this picture here. And this is a picture of when Kiki was Kiki posted this recently when she was in the hospital. Apparently, like, okay, so look what she says. She goes, "Nope, would not wish this on my worst enemy. Somehow a friend painted my spirit with his demons when he did it to me. He had to endure many days back and forth to the hospital. She had to endure many days back and forth to the hospital. Ours is crime. Accordingly, the criminal needs to be prosecuted. Share. Add justice for Kiki. Normalize at 10. Respect my voice. And our culture. Hashtag justice for Kiki." That she posted that recently, and apparently this is a picture of her in that situation in the hospital after the situation, claiming that she had to endure many days back and forth to the hospital. Somebody under that post, SPC_Hutch says, "Isn't this the picture from your car accident?" Then Timo T. Ken Myers, whatever, says, how'd you know she was in a car crash? Link me or point me in the right direction. He responds, "It's an old post she had. It was the same exact picture." So, and then Math Hoffa posts this. And like I said, this Slurpeegate situation is getting ugly, bro. It's getting dirty. And he posts that with the tweet saying, "Our black women are not protected because other black women use their pain for personal gain. This is sad. Like I said, God got me." And then he had posted that prior saying, "Please speak up if you know what it is." So let me know, man. I don't know. I can't confirm 100% if that picture was from an old picture. I have done a little bit of research, and it seems like there's multiple people claiming the same thing, that this was an old picture from a car accident. My thing is, the only thing I can say is she had to endure many days back and forth to the hospital. Now, there was one person who I did see say, well, maybe she faked the car accident because she didn't want people to know about this situation. you know, I don't know, man. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. This is getting ridiculous. My whole thing is, she says she has audio, and she needs to drop it at this point. You need to, like I said in the live yesterday, if you're gonna go public with this information, you know what's gonna do to Matt Hoffa, his life, his career, it's gonna turn his life and career upside down. If true, you need to present the evidence to the public.
I went and paid my motherfucking gym bill today.
Everybody's school! He said everybody's school for his softball! The sounds of gunshots pow, 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 and sirens echoed through Chicago. So they just loaded him up on a violent weekend. You can call it gang war, drug related. A weekend that saw at least 61 shootings and 9 homicides, including the killing of 3-year-old McKay James.
We heard 6 shots, probably 6 to 8 shots going off.
Who witnesses say was in a car with his father in the South Austin neighborhood.
The kid had got hit in the car, and they drove the kid straight to West Suburban.
The child was pronounced dead. Police say the 27-year-old father was the intended target, and he is not cooperating with detectives.
How y'all doing? Could I leave you with a card?
This morning, community activist Andrew Holmes canvassed the neighborhood seeking information on the suspect.
Block by block, let's find the shooter.
Holmes, who also lost a child to violence, was shaken by the toddler's killing.
But excuse my language, it take a damn fool to discharge that weapon. Happy Father's Day to you! Now what you gonna do?
The outrage over a toddler being shot and killed brought pastors and community activists out to the block where it happened Sunday to denounce the violence.
It would be an ultimate contradiction to pastor in this neighborhood and not say a word about a 3-year-old who can't defend himself and cannot speak for himself.
Several community groups raised $10,000 as a reward for information leading to the suspect's arrest. About an hour after the toddler was shot, just blocks away, 2 men were shot, one of them fatally. And an hour after, 3 teenagers were shot, including a 13-year-old.
And shoots and kills 2 of these guys for no reason at all.
The police superintendent says there's a common thread in all the violence.
Gangs, guns, and drugs. And no consequences when Chicago cops make arrests. Let's keep.
And Chicago police say they have their hands full trying to solve all of these cases. They are asking anyone with any information to contact detectives.
Is that beautiful?
Alright, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Bossman from Chirac News. So tonight's video I am going to talk about how the war between 051 and 600 started. When I first started this channel, if you guys haven't yet, go watch my first video ever about the death sites of TB and T-Roy. But it was the first video I ever made for this channel. I told you guys how it was going to be initially it was going to be dedicated to the war, like the BDGD war in the Washington Park, Woodlawn area. Basically, like I show you guys on my map, how I really just cover that area. I don't do the west side or uptown, north side, just because I don't really know a lot about those areas, and I'm not going to talk about shit I don't know. So I do get a lot of requests and suggestions, but for now, I'm really just going to focus on, like I said, these main wars in the Washington Park, Woodlawn, Englewood, South Shore a little bit, because that's what I know, and I feel like that's what's most popular with, like, just like the world. Like, you'd be so crazy to see some of the countries that, like, are intrigued and watch this stuff. I can see it in my analytics, whatever, or you can see all the countries that watch this, but yeah, man, the people, the messages I get from countries I've never heard of that are interested in this stuff, I feel like it was mainly because of, like, Chief Keef and Dirk and them, Ronda Number 9 in LA, what's his name, FBG Duck, Lil J, really the rappers that brought like the death and like killings to the mainstream and made people really intrigued and interested in this whole drill thing and this whole Chicago stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to talk about that, how the Young Money and the 600 war started, and I'm going to show you guys the death sites of two earlier victims in the war. A dude named Shaq. His real name is what's his real name? Shaquille Rush, and then someone named Trix, real name Trey Henry. And I'm also going to talk about a dude named T Streets from 051. His real name is Tariq Mahdi. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I couldn't find his death site because there's barely any info about his death on the internet. So I'm going to just show you guys the death sites of Trix and 600 Shaq. But we'll talk a little bit about how that war started. So let's get ready to it. All right, so basically, around the time this war started, it was late 2011. And at the time, 600 had just really started. They say, what's his name? Lil Boo and some others started it. It was initially Brick City, and then Lil Boo and some of the shorties from over there in Brick City, they started the movement 600. And then you guys know the rest is history. But basically, they say this guy M Thang, who you guys all probably know, killed some dude named T Streets from 051, real name Tariq Mahdi, on November 10th, 2011. And there's different stories of why he killed him. Some people say it was over a bitch, but most people say it was just because 600 was affiliated with THF at the time, and THF was beefing with 051 like since, I don't know, way back 2008. And they said that 051 was sent shots sometimes at THF dudes while 600 members were there. So they say that's why M-Thang killed this dude. But from there, it just escalated. Fast forward to February 2nd, 2012. Late, this dude Shaquille Rush, who's part of 600, they call him Shaq. I don't think he was really a shooter or nothing, but he was respected, and they say he was with M-Thang and this chick, one of those PNP chicks, I think her name was Emily, the night he was shot and killed. It was on 59th and Calumet in one of the alleyways. They say they found him dead, but yeah, they credit most people credit Kiddo with this hit, but Melly was definitely on this hit, and I'm pretty sure he hit the chick. I know she got shot. M-Thang got away, but like I said, in these shooters, when there's multiple shooters, you gotta really give them both credit. In my case, because you don't know which shot caused the death. But most people say it was Kiddo, but Melly also gets credit for this killing too. So yeah, this is basically Melly's first body, and yeah, and from there it just escalated even more. I'm sure there were more shootings between the time that Shaq got killed and then the next killing Tricks. Yeah, like I'm sure they shot back at each other. But I think I can't think of who now. I think someone got hit by something. I can't think of now, but they definitely were shooting back and forth at each other between the time Shaq got killed in February and then Tricks got killed that same year, 2012, November 1st, early in the morning. They found him in a car in the 5700 block of South Prairie, I believe, and some 600, like you see here, C-Day, they tried to like disown Tricks and say he wasn't part of 600. But if you look at Tricks' Twitter, his own Twitter, he was hella disrespectful towards the ops and shit. So he was definitely 600 affiliated somewhat, but there are some 600 members that blame him on snitching on this dude named Drill Philly. But you guys see how 600 is turned out today, so who knows what happened with all that, man. But yeah, basically this dude Tricks got killed November 1st, and that was also credited to this dude Kiddo, who apparently, man, is a savage. He also killed I believe this dude THF Black, which we'll talk about in a different video. So that's 3 bodies in 2012 alone for this dude Kiddo, and he's not even locked up for anything. He locked up for something else. And he's actually getting out soon, so yeah, man, this dude is definitely a savage, man. But yeah, we're gonna show you guys the death sites for Shaq and Tricks. I could not find a death site for T Streets, unfortunately, but yeah, let's open up this map and we'll do a little more discussing. Alright, so I got the map pulled up for you guys. And if you watched one of my prior videos, I don't remember which one exactly, but I was telling you guys how many deaths have been in this like little 2 square mile radius between State and what I say, Cottage Grove, I think I said, and then 51st to like 67th. Well, basically Shaq and Tricks, that's 2 more that we could add. So I'm thinking about doing, like, if you guys also know my old videos of when I was doing some Uptown, I was marking all the deaths, and I'm thinking about doing that with the
Vlad's brother-in-law hid from the cops in the mall's loading bay. It seems he hid the coke in various boxes that have now been distributed to shops all over the mall. He also disguised himself in a Santa Claus costume and stole some vodka and got drunk. What a mess. The cops got suspicious of the drunk Santa and apprehended him. You'll need to free him and ask him if he remembers what boxes he put the coke in.
Chuck Norris. 3 days to kill. Mad money. Dirty rotten scoundrels. Blitz. That's it. We gotta be way more niggas. That frozen shit, oh my goodness. Man. What's up, folks? Last night, we watched a movie called Frozen, and my lord, oh, fuck that nigga knees. That nigga got beat up by the wolves. It was a good movie though. Shit. I feel like watching something now. We watching free YouTube free movies. The Invisible Man. Sonic the Hedgehog. Year for 19, I think I seen that. No. Sit down. I want you bad as ever. Don't need me later. Baby, it's whatever. It's easy to see that you're fed up. I am on a. You only fucked you up because you let up. Pull up. Left hand is gripping you. You deserve what you've been. They call us monsters. Escort. So it keeps on playing. I don't know what to say, hey, but if you was mine, you would not get the same. Suicide in the drugs if you like. You got good pussy, girl, cannot be framed. He the only reason that I'm feeling this way. Oh, baby. Got this drink in my cup. Right, man. Go with a free one. Yeah, I almost have all the Fast and Furious. I'm missing, I think, 4 and 7. 4 and 7. Bruh. I ain't never watched any of the Harry Potters. I got 1, 2, 3. Real. For real, my nigga. got something for you. I don't know if y'all can hear that music in the background from the apartment across the way downstairs. I've been quizzing, wondering, is this an African American or a Caucasian? Is it a male or a female? I've come to the conclusion it ain't no nigga. The playlist has been the same as mine, to a minimum. Where I felt like this motherfucker be listening to whatever I'm playing, and then next thing you know, you hear it playing on that shit a couple days later. And then I was like, maybe there's a nigga that like me over there. But then I've heard some shit like, can't be no nigga listening to that shit. And then, due to the fact that I always hear the music, but I ain't never not once seen the person, it ain't no nigga. Cause the nigga would have been done walked outside, made a move going from to the store or something where motherfuckers would have been cross paths on some what's up neighbor. I ain't never seen whoever that is over there. But whoever it is wants you to know for sure, wants the neighborhood to know that they listen to nigga music. All day. I'd be like, damn, dude, that motherfucker, whoever, nigga, they ever watch a television show? They got subscriptions. description. They don't ever get a commercial interruption. Alright. YouTube movie selection is bullshit, buddy. Nightcrawler. Buy or rent, that's some bullshit. How? I swear to God, that shit was just free. Shit. Brats Cook, man, come on. We'll see what they call as monsters.
Plan your strategy. Upgrade your skills. Ascend your champions. And defeat your enemies. Raid Shadow Legends. Now.
Excuse me.
I'll start calling him Rudolph.
You have 50 minutes.
Drunk fuck.
Yeah, 50 minutes.
Find him.
Aló.
Hola.
¿No estás ocupada?
No, ahorita no.
Para poder hablar con vos tranquilamente.
Apenas de menores.
Sí, pero adentro de esa cárcel, en el medio, hay otra cárcel para menores que están, que ante la ley somos adultos, ¿me entiendes?
Pero ya muchos se condenaron.
En enero voy a empezar esto.
Apologize, but this ain't no movie, it's a documentary.
Get ready for action! Get ready for action!
Okay, find Santa and free him.
I want my rights. Set me free.
It's a shield.
Fuck you, shield. Go on,
Got to feel that brother-in-law first.
One shield down. 5 points for me. Down. 5 points. Booger is a goner.
No brace for it.
That goes straight to her heart.
Michael and I spent a lot of time together. He bought me things, bought me flowers. He made sure I was okay.
But when her past comes back to haunt her, she puts her trust into the wrong hands.
She had no way of knowing that he had put something in her house.
He took a part of my life that I could never have again.
And later, in Sin City, Genesis Alfonso is game for a little excitement when a self-proclaimed pimp makes her the center of his erotic world.
Amar gave Genesis access to a lifestyle that's exciting. It was as if they were famous.
But when her boyfriend feels disrespected, she rides shotgun.
Amar confronted the man. He was a ticking time bomb.
In the waterfront city of Pensacola, Florida, Stephanie George grows up in a close-knit family.
My childhood was pretty happy. Me and my sister Wendy were spoiled girls, and we pretty much got what we wanted.
Especially on the weekends, when the adoring daddy's girls are groomed for adventure.
The funniest thing is my mom, she would always get upset because my dad would wake us up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning to go fishing, and she would say, "These are not boys, they girls," and they would just go at it. We would get up and go because we really enjoyed it.
As the youngest, Stephanie lives up to being the free-spirited one of the household.
I was more hard-headed, wanted to do my own thing, and my sister was more the adult one. She always did everything by the books.
While their dad works hard to support the family, their mom, a hairstylist, is Stephanie's ultimate role model. But her carefree existence is shattered when their parents divorce and their mom moves them to Mississippi, near family, over 4 hours away from their dad.
It really affects you when you have to pull towards mom or dad because you want them both together. It was really emotional for the both of them.
It's so fortunate when siblings have a close relationship, especially dealing with something like divorce, because the support they give to one another can help them with regard to coping with this kind of a tragedy.
After several years of splitting their time between two homes, Stephanie and her sister settle in full-time with their mom when she moves back to Pensacola and opens her own hair salon. By her junior year, the 16-year-old already has her sights on a career.
During high school, I ended up going into cosmetology school. I graduated from there. I ended up getting my license, and I did hair at my mom's shop.
Between working and school, the 11th grader still manages to find time for romance with 16-year-old John Lerner.
He was always around the neighborhood where I grew up at. We ended up becoming an item.
He was a good guy. He was a class clown. I really liked him.
While their puppy love doesn't stand the test of time, they're unexpectedly tied together for life.
I ended up getting pregnant in my 12th grade year, and I had my son, and I graduated in June.
The following year, the 19-year-old moves into her own apartment with her toddler and continues working full-time at her mom's salon. But she soon finds a handsome distraction when she meets 23-year-old Michael Dickey.
He knew me through my son's father. They grew up in the same area. He was a gentleman. Bought me things, bought me flowers.
He was flashy. He drove nice cars. He dressed it well. He loved it, material things. And I think that's what she may have liked it in him.
But Stephanie's family doesn't approve of her new boyfriend.
Michael was a convicted felon. He had been convicted of burglary and grand theft.
Michael didn't have a job, and he was doing all the wrong things to get money.
Stephanie suspects he may be involved with drugs.
I never saw what was going on. I just knew he had a lot of money.
But it doesn't stop Stephanie from falling in love.
Michael and I, first couple of years together, they were wonderful. We did things, we went out of town, he took care of my son. We did things that I couldn't do for myself.
Love is a strong emotion, and it's easy to overlook someone's flaws when they're providing not just for you, but for your entire family.
A little after 2 years together, Stephanie shares some bittersweet news with her man.
When I found out that I was pregnant, he was so excited. But at the time, I felt like the relationship had became sour.
This is my baby. We're going to take care of this.
I've learned that guys feel as though if they have a kid from you, that you're their property, in a sense. And that's the effect that I got from Michael.
But before he has a chance to win back her affection, he's arrested for drug possession and firearm charges, earning him 5 years in prison. After the 23-year-old gives birth to their daughter, while Michael sits in prison, Stephanie struggles to raise 2 children without the cash support that she's used to receiving.
Daycare, trying to do hair. It became a turning point where I had to find another means of money.
Then, Stephanie has a moment of weakness after reminiscing about the plentiful cash flow her ex used to have on hand.
I ended up dealing drugs myself. And I felt, okay, I'll just do this a couple of times to catch up on my bills.
Because a single deal can support a family for a week, it's easy for someone to focus on feeding their family and therefore taking that risk.
But the more cash she brings in, the more she stands to lose.
She was risking her freedom. She was risking losing her children.
And when she puts her trust in Michael again, her decision will come back to haunt her in the worst possible way.
I was so angry, I jumped across my coffee table and started fighting.
After Michael Dickey, the man Stephanie George depends on, is thrown into prison, the single mom starts dealing drugs to provide for her family in Pensacola, Florida.
At this point, I have 2 kids, and trying to support them, it was pretty hard. I'm still doing hair, and I did what I had to do.
But a year after flying solo, romance kicks up once more when Stephanie meets 25-year-old Anthony Dole.
Well, he was a smooth operator.
If someone is lonely or falls on hard times, it's not uncommon for them to want some affection. It can be a soothing distraction from their reality.
But their casual love gives them far more than they bargained for when Stephanie gets pregnant. By the time she gives birth to her second son, her relationship with Anthony is over. But he sticks around for their little boy.
Anthony was a pretty good father. He took care of his business.
But with 3 children now to care for, the 24-year-old continues to sell drugs. Until one day when it all comes crashing down on her.
I was at home and I had something on me, and I was pretty much set up by a CI. They came in and wanted something from me.
Stephanie was initially arrested during an undercover operation in which she was caught red-handed with crack cocaine.
Stephanie's charged with possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute and sale and delivery of cocaine. For the 2 charges, the remorseful mom is sentenced to 9 months in a work release program, running concurrent with 1 year of probation.
My mother had her own shop, so that's where I was going every day. I would check out, go to the shop, do hair.
I went to stay at her place so that I could care for the kids while she was there.
After 9 grueling months of the structured routine, being on probation opens up her life to a new chapter.
Stephanie did learn a lesson after that. She had an apartment with her and her kids, and she would do her hair from home. She was doing well. She was taking care of the kids.
I was at that point where no more bad guys. I knew that I had to do right, and not for myself, but for my kids' sake.
As Stephanie lives the straight and narrow, 3 months later, her ex, Michael Dickey, is released from prison. The single mom has a tough choice to make.
He contacted me and stated he wanted to see his daughter. She wanted to see her dad. And all I felt was that same pain that I had when my mom took us away from my dad. So I pretty much wanted her to be a part of his life.
This is a strong motherly instinct to shield their children from the same pain they may have felt as a child.
But within a few days, the 25-year-old quickly figures out that Michael hasn't been rehabilitated.
He started back to his same old tricks. And I pretty much told him, you know, things have changed, people have changed, and I'm not going to be involved.
Where does money come from? Over the next few days, Michael makes frequent visits to Stephanie's apartment to spend time with their daughter. But without a permanent place to stay, he's got something brewing behind her back.
Stephanie was trying to be clean, and Michael was not being honest with her.
So one day when Stephanie was out of her house, Michael came in with a safe and put it in the attic.
His devious secret remains untouched and unknown for another 3 weeks, until one seemingly typical afternoon that summer.
I was at home doing hair. My daughter, her school clothes. He was sitting in his room, and he had 2 duffel bags with him. He pulled some clothes out, and my daughter was showing me the clothes that he had brought her.
Just 5 minutes into his visit, their peaceful day turns into chaos.
Everybody take columns to your hands.
When the police suddenly barge in.
I was confused because I knew at that point my life was clean. What is going on?
While agents search the house, Stephanie turns to Michael for answers.
What's going on?
But finds none.
He's sitting there, not saying a word. I'm looking in his face because I'm thinking they came for him.
Police quickly head towards Stephanie's bedroom.
They knew where they were going, and he knew they were coming.
Agents discover the large bag with a locked safe from the attic and search for the key.
When the police searched Stephanie at the scene, of course, she had nothing on her.
Then, the rising chaos reaches a boiling point when police find the key on the table near Michael.
And they found about a half kilo of cocaine, about $14,000 in the safe that Michael had placed in the attic.
So whoever he was dealing with had got busted, and he had told them that he had stashed it at my house. I was so angry, I jumped across my coffee table and started fighting him. So they end up handcuffing me.
Stephanie denies knowing anything about the stash, but it doesn't matter. Both Michael and Stephanie are arrested and charged with conspiracy and trafficking cocaine over 400 grams.
My daughter was at home during the time that I was being arrested, and I was so ashamed and hurt about the whole incident.
A mother that has to separate from her children, well, that's not only traumatizing for the kids, but it's also really scary for the mother, too.
Her children stay with her sister, Wendy. When questioned by police, Michael admits the cocaine and money belong to him. Even though Stephanie remains adamant that she has nothing to do with her ex-boyfriend's drug sales, she's completely unprepared for the severe reality she's faced with.
Stephanie had 2 previous felony convictions for non-violent drug offenses. And because of the 3 strikes and you're out rule in Florida, she was facing life as a mandatory minimum.
It seemed unreal facing a life sentence. I was scared to be away from my kids and my family and not knowing where this would lead me to.
Unwilling to take the fall for the man she once trusted, Stephanie pleads not guilty and puts her fate in the hands of a jury.
I think what really woke me up when I heard my mom scream.
And later, in Las Vegas, Nevada, entertainer Genesis Alfonso is painfully loyal to her boyfriend, even when his rash temper sends them into a living nightmare.
When he felt like he wasn't given respect, that's really what triggered him.
With both cars speeding down Las Vegas Boulevard, and he just starts firing.
Stephanie George is not willing to go down with her ex-boyfriend after police find his hidden drugs in her Pensacola, Florida home.
Michael's story was that Stephanie was very involved and that she knew about the drugs.
But his calculated version of the story couldn't be farther from hers.
I felt very betrayed by Michael because I actually thought that he and I could be friends and raise our daughter without him wanting to do the wrong thing in life.
The terrified mom denies all involvement in his illicit scheme. But it's her word against 5 different defendants who were involved, taking plea deals in exchange for their testimony against them.
Guys that got up there, she never seen a day in her life. So it was horrible.
The witnesses against Stephanie were cooperating in order to receive reduced sentences. So they testified against Stephanie as part of that cooperation.
In the end, the jury finds the 26-year-old guilty of all charges. The judge sentences Stephanie George to life in prison, without the possibility of parole.
I was numb to it. Just hearing it, it was, I think what really woke me up when I heard my mom scream.
When you're in a moment that devastates your life, most people go into shock. Your brain stops processing the information.
Even though he admitted to the crime, Michael Dickey is sentenced to 150 months in prison. A moment that hit Stephanie harder than ever.
I felt like I was robbed of my life and I was betrayed.
During her first 10 years of incarceration, she desperately tries every avenue to pursue appeals, but they are all denied. So she makes the best use of her time.
I can't say all my time gone has been bad. I've learned so much about life, about the system, about law. I mean, I've gotten my master's in there. I didn't allow the time to do me, I did it.
Then, after 16 years behind bars, Stephanie gets word that all hope is not lost.
Stephanie's case was referred to us by an organization that looks for situations where punishment really doesn't fit the crime. And we thought that she was a good candidate for a presidential pardon.
Under an initiative by the White House, President Obama decides to commute the sentences of a select number of qualified, non-violent offenders who are serving life sentences.
Once our firm accepted Stephanie's case, we started looking for as much information as we could get to support her pardon. It's a Hail Mary, but certainly it's one worth taking.
I think that was probably the happiest day of my life to receive that info.
As the weeks go by, she waits for the status of her petition to the president. 3 months later, she receives a surprising call from her attorney.
And he said, I just wanted to tell you that you are going home. And I said, huh? He said, 8:30 this morning, Obama signed your clemency. I was so numb, I couldn't even say nothing. I was just crying.
After nearly 2 decades behind bars, Stephanie exits the prison gates as a free woman, running into the tearful embrace of her sister Wendy, who has been raising her 3 children all these years.
It meant everything to me. I knew that I would see my family, my kids.
Even though her relationship with Michael cost her 17 priceless years, Stephanie looks at her past as a hard lesson learned.
I've forgiven him in my heart because that's the only way I can move forward. But I don't ever want to see him again because I feel like he took a part of my life that I could never have again.
I think it changed her. She's very cautious about who she spent her time with and who she let in her life.
I was blessed with a second chance. So as I'm moving forward and carrying on with my life, and I just thank God that I still have my sanity to be able to do that.
Stephanie George fell victim to the father of her child's deception, landing her 2 decades behind bars. Next, in Las Vegas, Nevada, an exotic dancer gets more than she bargains for after a high roller gambles with her life.
Her mother was a stay-at-home mom, and her father was a businessman. He had several auto shops in the area as well, just working to provide for his family.
She came from a family that supported her, that loved her.
But despite the structure and discipline her parents attempt to enforce, Genesis's adolescent spirit has an agenda of its own.
She was adventurous. She liked to party. She liked to have a good time.
She was out there partying with her girlfriends.
Hi, how are you?
When a person is raised in a strict household, what we sometimes see is they do the opposite of what has always been expected of them.
2 years after high school, the 20-year-old is ready for a change when she moves across the country to Sin City, where the party never ends.
She became a dancer. she wanted that lifestyle, and therefore it made it a lot simpler for her to make money and support herself that way.
She was young, she's hot, she's gorgeous, and a lot of people look at her. Anything that you want is available at your fingertips.
There is news on a deadly shooting inside Seattle's protest zone. A 19-year-old killed inside that roughly 6-block area seized from police. And authorities say protesters prevented them from getting to the crime scene and the victim. Here's ABC's Zareen Shah.
Tonight, the body camera video, Seattle police arriving at the scene of a shooting at the activist-occupied zone.
Please move out of the way so we can get to the victim. All we're trying to do is get to the victim.
On Saturday at around 2:30 a.m., the 911 call, shots fired inside the 6-block area Seattle residents have taken over. Protesters forcing police away, leaving them powerless to investigate. Jake Bradbot was there and captured this video. Volunteer medics rushing the 19-year-old to the hospital where he died. Another was critically injured.
It all just makes me really sad that this happened because, yes, indeed, we want that area to be a very peaceful and educational kind of a place.
Activists started the zone about 2 weeks ago following massive protests against police violence and racial injustice. Some inside heavily armed. Police have said they'd only go inside in events of a mass casualty or active shooter. Saturday night standoff showed that didn't work.
A day and a half later, police still haven't released a suspect description. The circumstances and lack of access to the scene have presented obvious challenges. With
all right, Zareen, thank you.
That shit, I just don't get how it works.
This drill is fucking worthless.
I don't get it.
This is John. John is a security account manager working for a large security firm. He has to accomplish so many tasks every day, ranging from setup to ongoing management and support, secure premises, monitor equipment, prevent damage and loss, direct guards and organise schedules, and conduct reports. John needs to come across a load of work, but the most complex is keeping an eye on his guards. Jack at the bank, Michael at the store, Jessica at the parking, Tom at the transport house, Sam on a countryside guard tour, and Bob all over the town. So John is daily on fire, talking on the phone, producing tons of notes, spending his time in meetings, gathering so many and confusing reports, doubting about his guard activities, and finally losing his patience, listening to client complaints, losing his reliability, feeling desperate and alone, and getting into a bad feeling that his job is daily letting him down. There's nothing worse, John, eh? But come on, my friend, there is always a solution. What if we told you there is a way to monitor your guards without distracting yourself from your business and manage any guard tour in real time at any place all over the world? Oh yes, there is, and it will solve all of your problems. QR Patrol Guard Tour System will do the work for you. It's a great piece of software that is going to help you manage your guards and territories, offering maximum prevention and minimum workload. And it's so simple to use. 6 buttons will change the way you patrol. The guard starts a guard tour. An NFC, QR code or beacon has already been placed on an asset. The guard scans the NFC or QR code tag with the QR Patrol mobile application. Our friend John receives an immediate alert which includes the guard's position. The guard goes on his guard tour in other territories and scans other checkpoints too.
He can also receive a message from the centre, or send a voice message, send a text message, and get a photo of an incident which needs immediate action. He can also add his signature, and finally continue his guard tour on other locations and scan other checkpoints too. QR Patrol is fully compatible with NFC and QR code technology, as well as advanced beacon technology, meaning that the guard can send events just being within beacon's range. And yes, it's the only guard tour system.
8 correctional officers of color are suing Ramsey County for discrimination. An attorney representing the officers says they were prohibited from entering or working on the floor where former MPD officer Derek Chauvin was being held. The attorney spoke about the lawsuit against the county this morning.
Right now, our community, our state, and our country are grieving the senseless death of George Floyd and far too many other people of color. Many of us are using this moment to examine and take a closer look at racism and the small and large systemic injustices facing our neighbors of color. Unfortunately, we're here today to bring light to another example of prejudice and discrimination, this time in the workplace. On Friday, May 29th, 8 correctional officers of color went to work at Ramsey County Jail, which is right here behind me, expecting to do their jobs. However, they were prevented from doing so when former police officer Derek Chauvin arrived at the jail that afternoon. Upon his arrival, Superintendent Leiden ordered that all the correctional officers of color were to be prohibited from guarding Chauvin or going anywhere on the 5th floor where he was to be held. This decision was made solely because of the color of the officer's skin. We're here today because 8 individuals who were impacted by this decision were brave enough to come forward. It was not easy, and it still isn't easy. Out of fear of retaliation, they've made the difficult decision to remain anonymous today. They're fearful of losing their jobs and livelihood and putting their families at risk. My clients are kind, fiercely loyal, passionate people who care deeply about each other and about their job. The deliberate discriminatory treatment they received from Ramsey County on May 29th has left them feeling broken. This morning, I'll share a brief overview of the events at Ramsey County Jail, and then I'll take questions from reporters. On May 29th, officers of color were busily preparing the jail for...
I really don't give a fuck, though. Yeah, I do understand, because I face this shit every day. Same shit with y'all. This week, do PS3 have the option to stream from the PS3? I don't believe it does. But fuck, I want to play something different.
What it do though, y'all? Go to thehoodgoodstore.com, thehoodgoodstore.com, and pick you up the How Cool Stupid shirt. Get involved.
That boy funny, man. Hilarious. That's wild.
I don't have a speech.
She's shaking.
No, I don't have a speech.
Hey, babe.
Okay? I just talk like this. It's normal.
None much.
Impediment.
Hips is getting strong and shit, you know. Yeah.
Why ain't you paying that ass no attention, Cuddy?
I got it. Woo! It's funny?
Why are you looking like that?
she would watch something else.
This dude, Dr. Atari, hilarious, baby. Baby, what are you doing? You see me watching TV. What's up?
You don't see all this? It's like I woke up with it. It happened overnight. Look at my booty. Is my booty getting big? If I stand like this at a 45-degree angle, put my arms up, I kind of look like an IG model. Like, look at this. Hey, ain't my booty getting big? Don't lie.
I'm trying to watch.
Is my booty getting big? Am I getting thicker?
Yes, baby, your booty getting big. It's getting bigger for sure. Thank you. Can I watch TV now?
Big like OnlyFans big, or like you might get demonetized on YouTube?
Like Patreon, OnlyFans, IG, Twerk Circus, thick. Yeah, it's getting bigger, baby. You
Not quite a handful yet, but they're couplable.
Yeah, they couplable as hell, baby. They real couplable.
Okay. All right. Whew. All right. Well, come on. Let's go. You gotta get ready.
Go where?
Couple.
What? You know we gotta be at my mom's at 2:30. It's 2 o'clock. Come on.
Oh yeah, I know that for sure. Yeah, let's go.
You forgot.
Baby, look, we're going. I'm turning it off. Bam, we going. All right?
You forgot.
I didn't forget.
You did. You forgot.
I did not forget. I promise I didn't forget.
No, you forgot. You lying. I can tell.
I'm not lying. What are you talking about?
Hey, yo, what's up, man? You about to go watch this fight? You ready?
What are you doing here, Samaj?
What you talking about? We're about to go watch the fight at Montebello.
Oh, y'all about to go watch the fight. I knew you were lying.
I'm not lying, baby. I'm not lying.
You forgot. I knew you forgot.
I did not forget. I didn't forget.
Okay, so if you didn't forget and you weren't lying, why is Samaj here?
I don't know why Samaj is here. Damn. I don't know why you're here.
Bro, you back on that bullshit again? You just called me and told me to come pick you up for the fight.
Samaj, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, baby. I thought you was talking about for tomorrow we was gonna watch the fight. Not for the day, but for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know how I know you're lying? Because you got your stupid little arms up. You look like you're doing the bank head downs. So you lying to me and him?
I'm not lying to nobody.
Some of the coke is in.
Samaj, I think you got the days mixed up, bro. I think you got the days mixed up. And baby girl, I know we going to your mom's house. So that's what I'm going to do. Me and you going to your mom's house and we going to chill.
Casio!
What's up?
How long have you been planning to go to my mom?
I don't know.
2 weeks! 2 weeks!
Stay down.
Samaj,
Yes, Latrice.
how long have you guys been planning this?
For a week.
You a bitch ass nigga. Get your ass out of my house, man.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. You got this mixed up.
Bro, so you gonna act like I didn't just text you 15 minutes ago, tell you I'm on the way, and then poof, I'm here now.
Get the
You
fuck.
ain't like that didn't just happen.
Yeah, nigga, we is. You don't hear what's going on right now, stupid ass nigga. The fuck? Get your ass out, bruh. Hey, wrong day. Nigga, we watching the game tomorrow.
You lying. You know how I know you're lying?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because you keep shrugging your shoulders.
My bad, my nigga. I
Repeating the same thing twice.
Can I try?
Flip tag, you're it.
Monica,
slide.
Sophomore year of college. You ever try to holler at her?
What? You going way back to sophomore in college?
You ever holler at the homeless girl?
You know I didn't holler at Monica, bro. Why you even ask me that? I didn't holler at Monica.
He did it again. He did it again. You lying. You lying for sure.
Lying ass.
Baby, are we still going to your mom's house or not? I don't know what Samaj is talking about. I don't know what he's talking about.
There you go again with them shoulders. Samaj, have yourself a good night, brother.
I'll see you later. You're fucking loser.
Samaj, bro. I thought the fight was tomorrow, not today. I thought it was tomorrow.
Tell me something. Last year for our anniversary, did you lie about not forgetting it? And was my gift 3 days late? Was it really on back order? Or did you forget?
I told you. Like I said, it was on back order.
Lies, okay. Last week, when I made that new linguine dish I wanted to try for the first time, You tasted it, but you didn't really eat it. You said your tummy hurt. But you said you liked it so much you were going to take it to work. You wanted all the fellas to try. Did you take it to work, or did you throw it away?
Like I told you, baby.
Nigga hold his shoulder.
I took it to work.
Why? You know what? Go to the room. Go. Go take a nap. Matter of fact, go to bed.
To the max.
Nigga had to hold his shoulder there.
Let me do that.
That's the story I later.
You need to be watching something else.
Baby, what are you doing? Wait, I'm not lying to neither body. That is the fit. I ain't lying to neither body.
You should have rolled with that. You should have rolled with that.
I ain't lying to nobody or neither.
Neither body.
I ain't lying to neither body, man. Nobody. I'm saying it again.
How long have you guys been planning this?
Make sure that you still in frame. You still in frame?
Two men who are part of a right-wing extremist group have been arrested and are facing federal charges in connection to the murder of a federal officer. So this tragic story starts on May 29th when a protective security officer named David Patrick Underwood was gunned down in Oakland by a man named Stephen Carrillo, who's part of the so-called Boogaloo Boys. And look, I'm going to be honest with you, the first time I heard about this group, I didn't take it seriously. And I learned that Boogaloo and the ridiculous name of this extremist group is on purpose, so people don't take it seriously. But unfortunately, there are members of this extremist group who have used the Black Lives Matter protests as a cover to carry out acts of extreme violence, to murder officers. And in this case, there was the federal officer who was shot and killed. And in the second case, there was yet another cop who was shot. And so I'm going to go to this video where a CNN reporter explains in detail how this case developed, and then I'll give you some more details. Let's take a look.
As the Black Lives Matter protests were taking place and law enforcement was trying to keep people safe during these protests, these two men were in communication that they were not connected to these protests at all, but they were going to use it as a cover to scope out and kill law enforcement. So on May 29th, they drove to the Oakland Federal Courthouse, the federal building. They staked out two law enforcement officers who were outside the federal building. One of them was Pat Underwood, and then in the drive-by shooting, murdered Underwood. Then there was a call from the public, ask for help from law enforcement to the public to look for the getaway vehicle, the vehicle that was used in the drive-by shooting, a van. Well, the public then responded, and law enforcement on June 6th was brought to Carrillo's house, and it was there that he also then attacked the sheriff's the deputies who were responding, killing Sergeant Damon Gutzwiller.
So there are both federal charges and state charges in connection to what Carrillo did. Federal prosecutors on Tuesday charged Carrillo with murder and attempted murder and leveled aiding and abetting charges against Robert Alvin Justice Jr., who has admitted to serving as the getaway driver in the courthouse ambush that happened. In addition to those federal charges, by the way, Carrillo faces a murder charge in the slaying of Santa Cruz County Sheriff Sergeant Damon Gutzwiller, as was mentioned toward the end of that video. So I'll give you more details about what this group is about, but these two people had communication. They had an online exchange where they made it clear that they saw the Black Lives Matter movement as an opportunity, as a way to, like, I guess, camouflage themselves to carry out these acts of violence, and then Black Lives Matter protesters would be blamed for it, of course. Now, luckily, there was enough of an investigation to figure out that this is actually, this was carried out by right-wing extremists. But it's just, I'm happy they're in custody, but that ideology still exists. These are anti-government, extreme right-wing individuals.
Yeah, and apparently so committed to this idea that the shooter apparently scrawled catchphrases of the Boogaloo movement in his own blood after being shot. Yeah, and this is only, what, exactly what we said?
I passed by this tattoo shop today, and they had a sign over there said, we support the BLM. Literally on a piece of white paper. Like, I'm gonna take a picture of it tomorrow. Pass by and take a picture of it. And, you know, in the sense, of course, that's what's up. But when we really look at it, when we think about it, due to the fact that it's in the window of a tattoo shop, which is a place full of artists that know how to do artwork. And that shit looked like they had little brother in the 6th grade draw it up. It ain't drawn or nothing, it's like just written, plain support. But it's like the BLM is scratched. It's just hella dumbass sloppy to be in the window of a place for artists. Like, serious? And I'm a black man, and that's the way I see it, so.
boy outside. And I kept that boy outside. That boy said, don't come outside. Come outside. They throw rocks, they go hide. They go hide. That ain't how we rock up on my side. On my side.
Y'all talk about all this other real shit. Y'all don't talk about that on the ground. Or you don't talk about you getting robbed and calling folks in to get y'all shit back. That's real life events. These true Chirac stories.
Hey, you showing the hood how you be lacking? What your door? I got it on. You ain't got it on you. What you doing? I'm scared to see you. What you doing up for the ground? See how you be lacking, short? See how you lacking, short? If you want what you're doing, I'll do that to you.
Not too long ago about that little girl getting shot on Halloween in that Latin King neighborhood. And like the Tyshawn Lee video. A famous rapper, we all know him, you know what I'm saying? He run around with drugs. Everybody know 46 and everybody know 051. 46 called 051 Rose on Drexel. Now tell me out, bro. It's two ways that story's supposed to end, bro. It's two ways that story's supposed to end. Y'all know the first way. Y'all know the first way it's supposed to end. You know what I'm saying? And the second way that it's supposed to end is crazy. The second way it's supposed to end is how it actually ended. They give him a pass. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. You know, y'all can go ahead in the comments and y'all can go ahead and tip y'all hat off to 46 for that, bro. Y'all.
When dried on stains appear, you have the power to make them disappear. Now you see it, now you don't. We make OxyClean Max Force. You make it work. Work your magic.
All I have for you is a word. Tell it. It'll open the right doors. Some of the wrong ones, too. Use it carefully. To do what I do, I need some idea to direct these faces.
As I understand it, you are trying to prevent World War III.
I'm not saying I'm again here.
I gather you have an interest in some Russian national.
Why did you bring me in?
You really want to know?
Think you communicate with the future? No. Inversion.
Same bit before the truth. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Well, I've seen too much. Well, we're trying to keep up. Your duty transcends natural interest. This is about survival.
Seems bold. Bold and fine, but I thought you were going to say nuts.
You chose the wrong profession. That's here. Hasn't happened yet.
There are people in the future who need us. They need a planet.
We need to think on here and now. Let's reverse it in the flow of time. There's enough being here now, but it never happened. You want to crash a plane? Come on from the air. Don't touch land. Well, how big a plane? That part is a little of the masses.
I'll go ahead and hop in the comments and tip y'all hat off for 46 for that. In the middle of a feud like that, bro, that takes a lot of honor, bro. You know what I'm saying? Daughter and everything, bro. Like, daughter and everything, bro. In the middle of a feud like that, bro,
that takes a lot of honor. I'm sure it was a lot of people in that car who was not, you know what I'm saying? Whoever was making the calls in that car to like make him give him that pass, I'm pretty sure it was a lot of people in that car who was in disagreement. You ain't no small guy making a call like that. You feel me? You wasn't no dude with no rank making no call like that. Like, oh, we caught him on Drexel. Oh, we caught somebody from 051 on Drexel. We got him. He lacking. We got it on us. Oh, but we gonna get him a pass? Oh no, you not no little guy. You not no guy with no rank making no call like that. It was a lot of rank involved. You feel me? Because like what? He from 051. He on Drexel. We got him. He lacking. We got it on us? What are you talking about? Get him a pass. I'm saying all that to say that takes a lot of honor. And you know, shout out to whoever made that call. Shout out to whoever made that call. And that Rose don't even care. He like, man, they should have did that. I guess it's on some joint like, I wouldn't have did it for you type of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it's on some that type of time.
I'm just not that good with people. But there is one thing I'm good at.
You have jelly all over your face. Is it too late to homeschool me? Are you CIA?
Why don't you hand over that phone before you get yourself in big trouble?
Won't you get in big trouble for having your cover blown by a 9-year-old? He's recording this and streaming it to the cloud. Yeah, not actually that hard. We can cut a deal. I'm going to teach me how to be a spy.
Just to be clear, this is a one-time arrangement. Never again.
I promise. So what's first?
A lie detector test. You can smell a lie. Endorphins release an odor, and the ultimate tell, the slightest blink of an eye.
You mean like this? JJ, I admire all of your tattoos. When you look out there, what do you see?
90 civilians, minimal security, soft perimeter.
Smiling people having fun. You should try it sometime. Ice cream will make you feel better.
I feel a little better. My turn.
I'm like, I wouldn't have did it for you, so I don't know why you did it for me type of time. Obviously, everybody's still happy to keep their life. You feel me? Like, I'm not finna give it to y'all like that. Like, you know, and he's not finna give it to me like that. Like, oh, you not still happy to keep your life. Obviously, he's still happy to keep his life. But I see what he's talking about as far as like, oh, I wouldn't have did it for you. Check me out, bro. 1% is small, but 1% of millions of people is actually a big number. So it's actually like 1% of people in Chicago walking around still with honor, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even though 1% is small, 1% of millions is big. So, you know what I'm saying? If you look at it like that, bro, it's a few people still walking around with honor. So that situation happens a lot. You feel me? Like a lot of people get caught lacking. Millions. And due to the circumstances, whether it be like grandmother, son, nephew, you know what I'm saying? Whoever be with the person, that it be a lot of situations where, you know, a certain individual, they'll have honor. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you with your mama, I'm gonna catch you when I catch you. You with your son, I'm gonna catch you when I catch you. Like, you lucky. And a lot of times it depends on how the person is feeling. Cause you know, in that moment, this person, they got the life power, life and death in their hands. So, how they feeling? Did they have a good day? Did they wake up on the good side? All these things are important in this situation because it's like this person can decide if your life or it's going to be for you the honorable decision they make or the unhonorable decision they make.
A normal job, but it's not. When hackers infiltrate networks and steal or destroy proprietary data, we're all at risk. Becca used to be a mid-level programmer until she earned a master's degree in cybersecurity online at Grand Canyon University. Now she's setting sophisticated honeypots.
He deserves props. He's hella underrated, so shout out to Jeff Billa. But also, man, I gotta say, first off, R.I.P. to Melly. I know he had a couple kids.
I don't wish death upon no one. We all know what Melly did and the life he lived, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't see this coming sooner or later. Just I didn't see it happen like this at all. But I saw all. Like I said, I watched all the videos. I saw all the stupid conspiracies, the opinions, how fucking O-Block, E-Dog walked through the back door, blah blah, the dumb shit, the Ops 600 did it, and just none of that shit made sense. And anyone with a brain, man, could tell that was just a setup, it was an inside job. And then when I started watching the video more, it just the dude recording, his name apparently is YermCity something. He was really the one who it was just real suspect, man. If you break the video down, it's just like there's points in the video where I don't want to just get too much, like I said, I've heard a separate video breaking it down, but basically it was just real suspect why he was recording like how he was, and how he was the only one acting all like call the ambulance and going crazy, and he just it didn't sound genuine how he was acting, and it was just very sketchy, man, and I kind of felt like he had something to do with it. And then sure enough, Bill kind of verified that in a song. But yeah, man, apparently that dude too, YermCity Trav, he got killed. And you guys all know the cops, who they got, I mean, I'm gonna say his name. I don't care what y'all say about snitching this, snitching that. Unless I was in Chicago that night and could write a statement as a fucking eyewitness, it ain't snitching. Unless you're an eyewitness or there's forensic evidence, there's no snitching. So TW Nate 007, apparently he's been around for a while. He was actually in that TV Poppy Typhoon Way song, which I didn't even know that. And he was a dude TV was talking about when he said 007 put in all of that work, trigger for something, whatever he says. But that's what he was talking about. Apparently this dude he was low key, but initially what happened is that it was definitely an inside job, probably something personal with a Jaro or TW member. Maybe Melly fucked someone's bitch, maybe gambling disputes. I know Melly was all about gambling, playing cards and shit, and everyone said Melly was just real cocky and shit, how he talked to his members and shit. And Melly was just so connected, man. It's just a lot of gang, man. He had a lot of family. He grew up in the Calumet building. He fucked with TYMB, who obviously STL, TW don't fuck with. It just there's so much. So what I thought is that it was just something personal. Yeah, apparently, like Bill verified, Melly actually shot at that dude, Typhoon World. You get closer. What still works? Still works. It works? Yeah, I don't need a new one yet.
Okay, new phone. Just need a promo code. Shouldn't be too hard to find. For real? Okay, let's try another one. Seriously? You're kidding me! I'm so over this. What? No way. It finds and applies the best promo code for me? That was easy.
Sam's passion is education. As a second-grade teacher, she loved helping students reach their full potential. That's why she enrolled at Grand Canyon University and earned a master's degree online in education administration. Now, as a principal, she's able to impact the future of all the students at her school. What do you think making a difference in education education looks like. GCU offers over 175 high-quality online programs like this one. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
Nate, at some point, shot at him and his kids, or him and his girl, and that's what it was payback for. And more's gonna come out about it, man. Also, there's weird too. The night when Melly got the night when actually Trump got killed and Melly got shot. I know a lot of people thought that was they were saying it was some THF little whatever girl. And everyone said, nah, not that. I personally kind of had a feeling that could have been due to TW Nate doing that shooting, because there's a picture, man, from that night, the last picture Trump and Melly took, and there's a picture posted right on 62nd and or 62nd and Vernon, basically right in Jaro Taekwondo World territory, like right where they always chill, like their main chill spot in that field, right across from Rothschilds or whatever, kind of basically right across from where Get Right got killed. But there's a picture of them chilling there, and somehow what's his name, Crump got killed like way down on I don't even know what block he got killed, 68 or something, but he got killed a while away. But it's just weird, man. I'm telling you, more's gonna come out, but I'll show you this picture right now. And I don't know what the shooting happened that night. Maybe Melly shot at Nate that night or something, but something's just weird about all that, man. I don't know. We'll see. There's just more's gonna come out to it, man. And I also heard there was a bounty on Melly's head, which I don't know. Does this dude collect, like, say Lil Durk had a bounty on Melly's head? Does he pay a op for killing Melly? Like, I know, like, whatever, Landron, 300, OTF, not directly murder beef with Taekwondo World. I know they do by, like, association with O-Block and all that, but I don't know, man. This shit is crazy. But yeah, man, I'm gonna pull up the map, and I'm gonna show you guys the exact house where it happened at. But apparently the house that he got killed was the house where they TB and Poppy recorded that Taekwondo place on. Yeah, man, let's pull this map and we'll do a little more time. Alright, so I got my Google map pulled up, and I actually got a comment. They said I'm the Google Map king. I take that comment with pride. I miss fucking with this thing, man. Sometimes I used to find myself I fucking being like Mexico, fucking Sinaloa somewhere, fucking Culiacan, like just looking at fucking random street shit, just thinking how much cocaine shit in this fucking house, and fucking Czechoslovakia just going down random streets. I'm going on top of Google Maps and shit, just reselling. But alright, so we got my map up, and you see I added some new gangs, and if you see my new Instagram post, I'm going to be trying to be very active on Instagram, but I'm calling you. This little 2 mile square radius from 51st to 67th State to Cottage Grove. The amount of killings in this area is just despicable. It's unreal in the past, whatever, 5 years. I can name so many, but we'll do a different video of that. We'll try to come up with how many killings have been in this area due to this BDGD war, which is basically in this little 2 mile square radius. And you realize how small that is? There's a thing you can do that. It's basically like half the size of like a small town, the average small town American town. But fuck all that. Let's get right into this and show you where. Actually, oh yeah, first I want to show you guys this. Like I said, this is just a theory, but no one's really ever thought of it before. I just thought it was weird how you see we're on 63rd here. Where is it? 63rd and Vernon. All right, so right here is Jar City, but right here on basically right here on 63rd and Vernon.
Here at Organ Neurosurgery, we were able to treat the breadth of spine conditions. So everything from...
I'm hella bored. Fuck, bro. Shit, on that ball. Hey, Steve, shut up. You gonna make me take that bone away from you, Ruby. Thought this nigga was retired from doing music.
God come and take me out this side of the road. I don't wanna live it no more. I don't move around and they gon' kill me in my home. The ones you known to be around, not on my side. I don't fuck with niggas, never did. Why would I lie? Big dog, who you got me fucked up? That nigga know he tried. I move by results, not by friends or things that's televised. Up boys down, handed like me, and nigga I ain't never had. I'm in that Billy, me and my youngest son. He too young to understand, but we still having our one-on-ones. Ecclesiastes, I told him everything done under the sun. They'll kill you when you speak the truth, thug you when you bad. I died that day, then I'ma leave out somewhere in my road. Somewhere in the Williams and a Since I've been on chat, they know what I'm on. Know you see niggas dying on your iPhone. Hurting it when I smoke. I might slow, but I'll never lie. No, I see, never serve me. Truth I speak, it won't hurt me. Tell me, somebody, please tell me. Why the fuck I feel I'm the only speaking up and that's on my own? Bow down to these niggas, I have my funeral in they town. God come and take me out this side of the road. I don't wanna live it no more. I don't move around and they gon' kill me in my home. The ones you know to be around, not on my side. I don't fuck with niggas, never did. Why would I lie? Big dog, who you got me fucked up? That nigga know he tried. I move by results, not by friends or things that's televised. Up boys down, handed like me and I ain't never had. And it's early, got a burden on my heart and it's a burden on my mind. Suicide for pain, no movies, I done seen plenty times. Tired of fuck around with groupies, 40 boys and 2 little girls that ain't mine. Like misplacement, blood shooting out, now that's some shit for my eyes. Shut it down, got to my mind, I'm being frank right now. Who did it, admit it, if they get it, how to carry on with my life. Seen pet wasn't right, but still now what the fuck I'ma do about the wife? Y'all left a ring through the night. My heart wouldn't act right. Trying to explain so she can leave. Fucking with these bitches trying to run you far from me. Cause if something was to happen to you, I wouldn't even want to breathe. God come and take me out this side of the road. I don't wanna live it no more. I don't move around and they gon' kill me in my home. The ones you know to be around, not on my side. I don't fuck with niggas, never did. Why would I lie? Big dog, who you got me fucked up? That nigga know he tried. I move by results, not by friends or things that's televised. Up boys down, handed like me, nigga, I ain't never had.
Half of the shit that nigga said I could not understand. I heard if I don't move around, they gonna kill me in my home. Sorry about that, nigga. Bro, I'm bored as fuck. I need some.
Played a concert in front of the entire world. 1 month ago, you played in Barstow, California for 40 people, most of whom were there for $2 taco night. Bill and Ted, what have you got to say for yourselves?
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
We're supposed to unite the world and save reality as we know it.
Are you serious? These grown-ass men.
We've spent our whole life trying to write the song that will reunite the world. Why can't we just go to the future when we have written it? Whoa! And take it from ourselves! But isn't that stealing? How is that stealing? We're stealing it from ourselves, dude.
How'd you like our song?
It's a little on the dark side, but you know, that's cool.
So before I kick the video off right quick, guys, the video that I had done on the 2-6 gang starring Renegade, First of all, a lot of guys, in the comment section were saying that this is being happened, this is not news, and I referred to it in the story that this happened over a year ago. I'm not saying that just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about that like that's a current story. And as far as like other blocks, that could have happened whenever. I'm just